And of course, within this special segment, we'll be focusing on the property market in Bengaluru. Bengaluru houses the maximum number of IT and IT-enabled services, biotech and aerospace companies in India, which directly impacts the commercial and residential real estate growth in the city. The city comprises strong salaried population, resulting in the real estate market dynamics to largely act as per the consumer demand rather than speculation. India's leading real estate online portal IndiaProperty.com has come up with a research report which highlights that around 75% share of the residential market in Bengaluru today constitutes of end users. To discuss the report in greater detail, we had a chance to catch up with Ganesh Vasudevan, CEO of IndiaProperty. Ganesh, let's start by talking a bit on the market. I'm talking about the Bengaluru market and its identity as a market with just the right kind of supply and pricing. While supply seems to be matching demand pretty well, prices are also well within the reach of the average buyer. 60 to 90 lakh rupees is the average price that you can actually get for a house in Whitefield or Sarjapur Road. Would you then rate this market, or rather Bangalore market, as perhaps one of the more ideal among all the southern markets?
Yeah, relatively between the three south metros, Bangalore is perhaps the most attractive, not only from a pricing perspective. Overall development of infrastructure has been fairly ahead of development in one instance. The second, it's also been the IT hub for the south. Employment opportunities are very strong. So putting all these together, given and the fact that pricing options are very, very attractive today, Bangalore is definitely a very attractive market. But having said that, from a pure affordability perspective, I think it's Hyderabad which is still far more affordable than, say, even Bangalore, because at similar price points, comparable amenities being delivered or location in the city is far, far better as related to say, a Bangalore. So between the three markets, I would rate Bangalore number one, followed by Hyderabad and then Chennai.
According to your study, the largest residential stock is present in South Bengaluru, followed by the East. But what's encouraging to see is that Bengaluru's buying pattern is based completely on end-user driven demand as opposed to speculation. Definitely one of the safer residential markets, you reckon?
Yes, the Bangalore is by far the most cosmopolitan metro in the country today. A large component of the purchasing power comes from salaried people. And the requirements of salaried people are largely different from the business community. You know, they look at end-use consumption as opposed to investments, and that's one of the reasons why there's a huge, proportion of end-use purchase in Bangalore. That's one of the reasons why prices have also been relatively stable compared to other markets in the country. There has not been any, significant upswings or downswings in the market relative to, say, maybe an NCR or Mumbai market. South Bangalore particularly is very close to the electronic city, which has been the starting point of the node for the IT industry in terms of development, etc. Given the proximity to a large number of multinationals and corporates who are based out of there, electronic city is an extremely attractive residential pocket too. And so is the case with South Bangalore. So a few years back, what was the JP Nagar is now today electronic city, Whitefield to some extent, and also parts of Sarjapur Road.
Let's focus on another one of Bengaluru's promising micro markets. Your study seems to indicate that apart from Whitefield and Sarjapur Road, Electronic City finds a prominent place in the buyer's wish list. It's just amazing how a relatively newer micro market has done so well recently. What reason would you attribute to Electronic City's amazing performance in the realty market?
Yeah, all this has happened in the last 2 to 3 years, and that's primarily because of the infrastructure development that the government has put in place. There's now this elevated flyover which connects you from South Bangalore, which is earlier even from Hosur Road or even MC Road, to go up to Electronic City. You can reach in less than 15-20 minutes. Just 3 years back, this used to be a 2-hour drive. So that's a significant difference in terms of connectivity that has moved the focus from, say, JP Nagar and BTM layouts to Electronic City and areas around the IT corridor, IT development that's happening, because it's very close to places where people work. So given the close connectivity, it has also spawned development in areas which are along this elevated corridor. So I think it's clearly because of infrastructure development that Electronic City has emerged as a very attractive residential micro market in a relatively short period of time.
Not much has been said about the rapid progress North Bangalore has also been making recently. With the new airport at Devanahilli and the global finance district, areas like Hennur and Yelahanka have also become big performers.
See, it's not just the new airport that is spurred development for North Bangalore. It is the ORR that is coming in place, which is increased connectivity by leaps and bounds from even parts of South Bangalore, West Bangalore to reach North Bangalore. That has been a primary driver for the increase in attractiveness of North Bangalore as a residential area. Up to Hebal. Hebal is quite close to the city, and prices were very affordable until recently, and the next wave is now moving on to Yelahanka. Yelahanka, you still get very good apartment options at less than 3,500 rupees a square feet, which clearly puts it in the affordable range of, you can get a very reasonable size 2 BHK for less than 50 lakhs. That's what is truly spurring development today.
Now, one of the more interesting facets of your findings is that the Bengaluru buyer is slowly beginning to adopt a wait and watch approach towards his or her purchases. So what are we seeing is a great time frame for a purchase to take place? Why has this trend come about?
It is not a trend that is specific to Bangalore that we have noticed. It seems to be across the country, particularly in the south. I think because of the high end use component and the proportion of high end use demand for the south markets, a lot of this demand is coming from salaried people, and given the fact that the economy has not been doing as well as it was projected to do, given the drop in GDP growth rates and high inflation rates, high home loan rates, these have put a lot of salaried employees on a wait and watch mode. We can clearly see about 20-25% increase in the number of people who shifted their purchase time window from about 2 months to 4 months and beyond, and that's something not unique to Bangalore. We're seeing it in other south markets as well, but it's a little more pronounced in Bangalore because of the higher proportion of salaried demand that is originating in the city.
Let's end this discussion by discussing yet another interesting feature of Bengaluru. Your report in fact makes ample references to this, the fact that unlike other markets, there are plenty of options in both ready to occupy and under construction projects. Is there a reason of any kind for this healthy ratio?
See, Bangalore's development has not been unidirectional, which has been the case in several other cities. Particularly infrastructure development has happened in a holistic way in most parts of the city, which has resulted in a lot of high-end launches in terms of planned living, gated communities, etc., which happened 2 to 3 years back. And these happened at times when prices were relatively affordable, and they have now hit the market for ready occupation today. Given the fact that the cosmopolitan nature of the market and the purchases absorption is largely for end use, this has resulted in a good mix of ready to occupy vis-a-vis under construction. In fact, in several parts of the market we get ready to occupy flats which are possibly at even a discount as opposed to something which is under construction. So that is something which is you're ready to see. You see, you buy, you pay money for what you see, and gives a lot of comfort. Therefore, it's a great situation to be in.
All right, that was Ganesh Vasudevan of IndiaProperty.com helping us understand how to look at the market of Bengaluru.